Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm. We're back in 2024, and we get to start the year off right with the final FanFest for Dawn Trail. Not our final bit of news. We're going to know absolutely everything. We'll know a fair bit. And this is just one last show to go over what we know, what we expect, what we predict, and what we expect to be disappointed about. Why not? We'll throw all of it into the hat and enjoy all of our own despair and misery of the things that, hey, listen, have your hats. Yeah, let's talk about it. Anyway, moving on. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy, and of course joining me is Sly. How you doing, Sly?
I'm doing good. Happy New Beers, my man.
Sir, I believe it's Happy New Year. You said new beer.
No. Yeah, Happy New Beers.
I'm more like new bear with how just hairy I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that too.
Yeah.
I'm constantly letting mine grow out, but still, yeah, either way. Happy New Beards and bears and beers and whatnot.
There you go. All of it. It all works. It all factors in. How was your New Year?
Yeah. Pretty good. The Valhalla party went bang on. It was really fun. And then I needed a couple of days to recoup and kind of throw out a New Year's message about last year and, stuff for the new year and looking forward to fucking killing it in 2024.
That's the hope. That's the hope. That's the dream. We will not have 2020 part 5. I am going to damn well make sure of it.
Yeah.
With every fiber of my being.
That is right.
All the beans, especially my coffee beans.
Yeah. Oh, you got your coffee. I got my water.
I got my bean soup right here. My favorite bean soup. Anyway, today we're just going to be reminding I feel like we've talked about it a handful of times, but man, if I had a nickel for every time I got asked what I was expecting from FanFest, I could retire right now. Like, it's like, we kind of know, but like not everyone knows or keeps up to date. So we figured one last show beforehand, instead of trying to squeeze in a show the same day of everything, probably would suit us and all of you a little bit better, because I'm sure not everyone has kept up with what we know is going to be said and what we are hoping are things that they address. Yeah. Before that, though, thanks to our sponsors over on Patreon. Appreciate y'all. All right. All of our content's free, but some of y'all over there, we like you. We appreciate you.
Love you.
I likes you and I want you. There we go. And then, of course, Steel Series. Thanks as well.
There you go.
Yeah. So there's our New Year's sponsor. A little chill on that because we have a decent chunk of things to get into with this, Sly.
Oh, yeah. Well, the question is where to, well, it's kind of easy to start. I mean, let's go with the keynote and how the keynote usually starts. So, trailer. The question is what, all right, there's what we've seen and what we haven't seen or what we are expecting to see. Mike, what are one of the things you are expecting to see?
All right, here's how it's going to go down. All right. They're going to extend the scene with Urian J and the Mammal Jaw again, where he's fighting the big monster hunter creature, right? And he's not going to kill it in that one blow like they...
You mean Estinian?
Estinian, sorry, yeah. Urian J is going to keep sipping his pina colada. He's not going to do anything else. Yeah. I'm so excited. Estinian's going to be fighting with the Mammal Giant. He's going to be going down for that swing, but then he's not going to land the killing blow, and he's going to be on the back foot. And then Kral's going to show up. She's going to tie all of its limbs down with vines, and she's going to reveal the new job. And then they're going to go to the scene where they're actually in Tuliolal.
For once, we're actually along the same lines, the same wavelength here. Yeah, I would agree that Kral will premiere the new job in the trailer. Maybe not in that same cinematic sense. I don't know where or when Kral would show up in the trailer. I feel like, I mean, yeah, I could see that because that's kind of how it's kind of how
Alpha knows,
presented in Walker. So yeah, I mean, possibly. But yeah, I can agree with you that Crow will premiere the new job. As far as anything else, I mean, we might get a little bit extra
Galul fighting.
Yeah, I was about to say we're gonna get a little bit of extra Viper stuff. Other than that, they normally, I will confirm that we won't get the limited job in the trailer. They don't do that. They'll announce that.
Hey, you never know, man. They could throw Beastmaster in there if they want to. Smile, they won't. They won't.
They won't. They won't.
Limited job isn't even happening
really,
to like the
I like
end,
how you just went ahead and confirmed, yeah, it's going to be Beastmaster. Even though I 100% agree with you on it. Oh God. Oh, what else could they do in the trailer?
I mean, it's mostly just extending scenes and any of the scenes in the town of all of them walking around, or giving Kryl a scene where she's walking around in the town. Alphinaud still doesn't have any scenes, although we know he's on the boat. And then the reason why they haven't shown him on the boat, I assume, is because they've, like, you know how for the very first trailer they cropped out the weapon for Viper, the second sword, the second hilt. I think she's cropped out of the boat. I think she's on the boat. I think she's just like digitally removed, and she's standing like right next to her in front of Alphinaud in a shot or something like that. And so that's why he's not there. So then a little bit more of him and her on the boat or something in that capacity.
Sapphire, I kind of agree with that. We get probably a little more FaceTime with the Scions, each of the shortened scenes, kind of like one with Y'shtola, the one with
Allison.
well, maybe not Rianje, because he's just again sipping a pina colada. So how are we gonna extend that?
He might actually take a sip. He doesn't sip it, he just holds it. Maybe now he'll take a sip. He just looks down at Thancred and goes,
I mean, how are we going to extend that? How are we going to extend Graha eating a taco?
Watch him eat the whole thing from start to finish. Just like fucking, like he's fucking one of the competitive eaters, just goes, devours the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe the one with Thancred looking for something, I guess. Whatever he was looking for.
Yeah, he just has a random map. It's just like, yeah. It's like, I bet, dude, I wouldn't even be surprised if he just fucking had someone randomly draw that map. He's like, listen, I'm in a new land. I'm trying to get chicks. Can you just draw me a bullshit map real quick, and I can just see if like anyone recognizes it, man. And then I'll just, yeah, that's what we're doing. That sounds like a 2.0 Thancred thing to do.
Yeah.
There is one major question mark about the trailer, and it's a question mark about how you feel about how the rest of FanFest will go as a whole. And I'm in the opinion this will not happen in the trailer. There's still the voice that talks at the end, who we all believe is the character who gets off the boat in the end of 6.5, who we also all are fairly certain is our first female Hrothgar. That character that we will meet in game. The question is whether or not she'll be in the trailer, and I think the answer is no.
No. Now, that's a kind of a plot point that that the game will point out that once we get there. But
it's not even that. It's not even that. I think they just don't want to show it because, okay, here's the thing. It goes one of two ways. They show it, and it's one of the first things they talk about immediately after. Or they don't show it so they can do female Hrothgar at the as one of the last things they talk about in the keynote.
But this has been such a highly contentious like subject that I think they nip it in the bud like completely and show it, and then right after, hey, you saw it in the trailer. How else can we confirm this? Kind of thing.
I mean, they'll nip it in the bud just in the 2 hours they have, and not right at the start. I don't think. It has nothing to do with them even revealing the character before we meet them, because they did that with Faucheneau. We never met him in game until after we saw the Endwalker trailer, and then we were just all of a sudden in the trailer we were like, Daddy? And then all of a sudden, in game, we meet him. He's like, fucking hate Daddy. Fuck this guy. Yeah, so I think they'll not have. I think her voice is. I think that is her voice in the trailer. I just think they'll completely leave her absent from the entire thing.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay, that's fair. Anything else? Anything else? You think would be in the final trailer?
The only other thing is, I think the only question mark I really have, as much as I really want to see Kryl debut in, because you got to remember, Kryl is literally a non-combatant for the, like 99% of her existence is non-combatants. She has openly stated that's not her specialty, but we know she's getting a big glow up of some kind here. So on top of her being the job, I would like to see her using it in battle as like that juxtaposition of who her character is. But if they don't, the other option is to show wherever the Clover thing is from, the location in Tuliolal or wherever it may be in Toral at some point with her in it. So that's the only other thing, is maybe some sort of teaser on the Clover itself and what the point of it is. It's not just the Green Mage Guild or whatever the fuck it's going to be, you know? But there is one other thing we know for certain we will get in this trailer: the date at the very end.
Oh yeah.
And it'll say pre-order soon. It'll say soon because I think they'll tell us the pre-order date like 5 minutes later. If they follow suit, that's what they've done in the past. So that's what I'd expect.
Yeah.
So that's what I got for trailer.
Yeah, that I can agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the real question is, and our first prediction of the show, and this is a lock-in because we've had this discussion before. Give me a date, a prediction date. Now, obviously, I mean the actual release date, which means it's a Tuesday. So any Tuesday in summer that you're feeling confident about.
AKA any given Tuesday. Oh my God.
It's got to be in the summer.
Yeah. I mean, I'll narrow it. I could at least, because 0.55 is in January.
Yeah, it's probably the 16th. Same day as the Xbox beta, which they reconfirmed is middle of January for the Xbox beta. So probably the same date, the 16th.
April, May, June, July.
If you need me to remind you of the Tuesdays, I can tell you.
No, don't remind me of the Tuesdays. Remind me of the downtime between the final patch.
We can't judge that because the last patch was Endwalker and they changed the schedule. Remember, we have the change in development cycle in Endwalker, plus we lost that kind of metric going into Endwalker itself. So literally our last two case points are not accurate. Otherwise, it would have been about 5 months, but I wouldn't bank on that this time.
I'm gonna say July.
Okay, but which Tuesday in July? If you want to just say the number of, if you don't want to look at the date, you could say the first, second, third. There's 5 Tuesdays in July this year.
Wouldn't that be something for it to come out right before my birthday? Like, nah. I'll say the 9th.
Damn. All right, we're on the same page. I was going to say the 9th too. I did not think you were going to land on July 9th.
Yeah, I was going to say July 2nd, right before my birthday, huh? No.
I don't think July 2nd because I don't.
I'm not that lucky.
Like, not even just that, but I think as much as they don't necessarily care about the American holiday, they kind of also care about an American holiday at the same time. So, like, it would be coming out.
No, so it's an American holiday where we got nothing to do but grill meats and drink beer.
I mean, people travel. Things are a little chaotic. Like, it's not a guaranteed. People are sitting home playing video games. Dude, people,
it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
Yeah.
July 4th is a Thursday going into a Friday. So yeah, that would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4 day weekend. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind that July 2nd would be in line with Shadowbringers release, which did also release in the first like 3 or 4 days of July. So it's possible they've already shown a propensity to not really care that there's an American holiday there. So it's not you can write it off. So it's like we've got a history of it. In fact, that would be almost identical. I think Shadowbringers was like a June 29th and a July 3rd. This could be June 28th, July 2nd, for example, for early access to release. It's like identical, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm still in the boat of the 9th, but you know, I'm not going to shoot down a July 2nd option. And then, yeah, you know what? You got to consider, well, it'd be better if it was the 9th, in my opinion. I'd rather have early access week on July 4th weekend than have early access the week before and then have release on that. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
Though. But yeah. So yeah, I guess we both ended up on the 9th, so we're both liable for the same prediction.
Yep.
All right. When do you think the pre-order date will be?
Fuck.
Everyone just is saying not immediately, please. Not
today.
Right now, yeah.
Pre-orders today. Fuck you, man. Usually it's right before what? Pre-orders are right around. When did the pre-order start for Endwalker? I'm trying to remember.
Endwalkers, I think, were available now situation because of the weirdness of it. I don't remember if there was a date for Endwalker. That wasn't, I'm pretty sure Endwalker was an available now scenario.
Maybe like a week later, I'd say.
So my prediction is February. It's either the first week of February / last week of January. And there's one reason. The earrings are probably going to be put into the game on patch. And as soon as you pre-order, you get the earrings. That's how it's worked in the past. Literally the moment you pre-order, you get the earrings. So I assume they'll be added to the item database on the website, on the Lodestone. And then within the next couple of weeks become available. The question is if they consider and I think they might want it while the Xbox beta is going also, because the Xbox players hopping in might think, oh shit, let me just go buy, you know, the most recent thing. And the Xbox beta is the middle of January into early February. So I think they just want to ride those people, you know, being ready to be like, don't forget, you can also pre-order it on Xbox, you know. Sly and unamused by that prospect.
I just keep going back to Phil. In my head, I just keep going back to Phil. Do you think we get a Phil sighting?
No, definitely not in Japan. Phil only went to NA because he was said, listen, it's Vegas. You know, I'm making this money. I'm gambling. I'm drinking. Let's do it. Not a shot. He goes to Japan. But okay, so we've got July 9th for both of our predictions, and you said like a week later?
A week later for pre-order.
So January
from FanFest.
From FanFest. Okay, so that would be the 13th. Yeah. All right. Or if you the weekend of the 13th.
I mean, like I'm really just ballparking it, you know, like give or take a few days.
So just by the 16th. Essentially, if it was patch 6.55 day, you wouldn't be surprised. If that is 6.55 day, which it very likely is. And I'm going with the week of the 29th of January, which goes into the first week of February. That's where I'm going. All right.
Okay.
So we've got our first handful of predictions. Now comes the next one, because we all know what the very first thing they're going to talk about is after they reveal that, after they show us the trailer and the release date and everything, right?
Jerb.
This is your last opportunity to at least label. I think the name, personally, I think the name is impossible to guess, but you can still get kind of ballpark in something that makes you, that makes you feel correct. So that's a distinct lack of confidence.
Yeah, because like, I mean, why wouldn't they keep it simple and go green mage? Why wouldn't they?
Because why would they at the same time? The argument works both ways.
I mean, you're already dealing with all the other colors on the spectrum. Why not throw in another?
That's the only reason. It's not the clover. It's not the turtles being green. Nothing else. Just fuck it, right?
Yeah. Wood mage sounds horrible. Earth mage sounds horrible. Well, it's not like when I think of earth, I don't really think of green.
I don't want them to use the word
brown.
mage. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't want them to use the word mage. I don't know why. I just don't want them to use the word mage. It's like we're literally going to like a whole new land that has its own like culture and everything. And then that culture, the best they could, to be fair, that culture also came up with blue mage. So I guess fair enough. Or one of the cultures there, I should say, came up with blue mage.
Shaman?
Shaman.
Shaman kid.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't think a name is reasonable to guess. I'm just going with whatever it is. It's green mage adjacent.
I mean, that we can agree on.
All right. So predictions in line-ish again. No, not in the Pictomancer crowd.
No. I think everybody's gotten that out of their system.
No, they haven't. Sly, I'm exposed to it every day. No, they haven't. Not even remotely. And to be fair, I get it. I think it'd be really cool. I'm just not in the camp of agreeing with them.
Okay. So some people still believe Pictomancer has a chance, huh?
And hey, listen, until the fat lady sings, and you know what? She hasn't
sure.
sang.
You know what? I'll throw in arithmetician. There you go.
Just throw it in.
Yeah.
I sure hope it doesn't ask people what a prime number is. Fucked. Absolutely fucked. Yeah. And now in that same vein, you kind of called me out for it earlier, but they did mention, if I recall correctly, they mentioned that they would talk about the limited job here as well.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, my fact checking on them saying specifically JP FanFest versus at a later date, which is much broader, was asking my chat to go confirm it. So I'm not going to say that's what they said, because why would I trust my chat when I haven't checked it for myself?
Right.
That being said, in the case that they do,
it does.
Yeah. I believe you can only be in one of two camps for this.
Yeah. Naturally. Because what the fuck else would it be? What the fuck else have they been teasing?
Say what it is.
What other Final Fantasy only exists in the eyes of 80% of the player base?
7?
I mean, to be fair, right now you are correct.
There you go.
But in terms of the player base, 11. So,
I mean, both of them are from 11, though. Both of your options. Yeah. Oh, but okay, you're saying that. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I got you. Yeah. The reasoning is still to say, yeah, because then everyone thinks it's got to be one of the two. Yeah. Beastmaster or Puppet Master?
Beastmaster makes more sense in my head canon.
I think it does too. It's not what I want. I definitely want the other one, but I do think it is the more likely of the two, much to my dismay. I had some people ask me why I didn't think it could be an original limited job. Sly, would you like to wager a guess as to what my answer was?
No, but what was it?
No, come on. You were about to say something. You might have aligned with what I said.
No, like what I was about to say, really, in terms of comparing Beastmaster to Puppet Master, in like, if you could imagine it, just everyone, if you could imagine it, which one plays better?
Beastmaster.
Which one is funner?
Beastmaster. I want Beastmaster just to be Pokemon, to be fair. If it's a limited job, it's a mini game, essentially. I just want it to be Pokemon. Yeah. Just fuck it. I could PvP other people with it. There could be gym leaders and shit. I got to beat the gym leader of Ul'dah. I got to go beat the Elite Four and Ishgard or whatever the fuck they are.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you get a lot more. I feel like you would get a lot more with Beastmaster than with Puppet Master. Like, Puppet Master doesn't have a lot going on, you know, kind of like what Blue Mage does, kind of like what Beastmaster would. I would imagine Beastmaster would. So, like, the thing with limited jobs, like, I say this, we only have one. It kind of takes you places.
I mean, have you seen Summoner? Are you sure we only have one?
Shut up. But the thing with Blue Mage is it kind of takes you places. It kind of takes you on a little adventure, and then once you've gotten everything, you know, you do all this crazy stuff with it. And pretty much with Beastmaster, I see the same. Puppet Master, I see less than that, way less than that.
Yeah, Puppet Master, I see some sort of method of obtaining the parts to customize the puppet, but after that, I don't see a unique way to express a unique enough way to express that.
And see, when you say it like that, it feels like a relic, and like.
So just tomes then?
An older relic.
I've got plenty of experience with those as of late. Trust me.
Yeah. I've seen.
Oh boy. Yeah, the main reason why we rule out any sort of original job is very simple. The entire reason that limited jobs were created was to incorporate Final Fantasy jobs that didn't make sense in 14. That was the entire mission statement of Blue Mage. So that would be incredibly weird if they then said, well, fuck Final Fantasy jobs, let's make our own. Maybe at some point when they fulfilled that quota, but not when there's some very obvious answers that they even entertained on stage. He even only asked for those two answers from the crowd. He's like, Beastmaster, Puppet Master.
Yeah, they didn't go as like any further.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So if they do talk about, Beastmaster, but no matter what they said, that would be a late Dawn Trail thing. That's not going to be something at release. It's not even going to be early in Dawn Trail. That is like a 0.4, 0.5, thing to look forward to down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So far we've got our dates predicted. We've got job and limited job. I'll say even we covered how they'll handle female Hrothgar. I think we're both in the camp of saying we're expecting it, just a matter of when. Yeah. So, we've got our options there.
So you like it trailer and we're differing on that, I think.
Yeah, we're differing. You think they'll do it in the trailer and go right away into the reveal. I think they won't, and they'll do the reveal at the end. Same way they did Viera, essentially, is how I'm predicting they'll do it. Yeah. Male Viera, I should say.
Yeah. Now, pretty much after that is, I think, wouldn't go quality of life, because I think quality of life is further back in the keynote. We'll get to that.
Yes. Yeah.
More
phone.
Locales.
Shut up. I'm busy.
More locales.
Yeah, we should see potentially up to 2 more locales, 1 more tribe, 1 more threat.
Yeah.
In question. And I think after the Eliminator, I mean, you the fanboy in you can want like a Final Fantasy X like Sin style thing showing up, or like you can want it, but like it is grasping at straws. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but it's grasping at straws. Do you think that whatever remaining tribe they show is going to be something completely new, or a reference to a Final Fantasy game, like another 10 reference, like a Hypello or something, or
Reference. I honestly think it's a reference. You kind of stole one of mine, right? When you said
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be a Guado. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be a Guado. Like I wouldn't.
Who knows?
We would need a cold locale. I feel like we would need like.
But they live in a cave underground. No, it's the wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Like outside of it was outside of whatchamacallit. It's outside like the ice place.
No, it was next to the Thunder Plains. You literally leave Guado Salam and go right into the Thunder Plains.
No, I'm talking about before you get to Guado Salam. Like the place in front of Guado. Because there was a boss fight in front of Guado Salam, and then like is like with.
Yeah, you mean Macalania then? I mean Macalania. No, Macalania is Bavel. That's you go from here.
I'm getting my places mixed up.
Yeah, no, you don't. It's not that far from. It's all. Yeah, it's like a forest or something. It's not a cold area. You're thinking of Macalania, which is Bavel. That's where you go right after Thunder Plains.
What's the boss fight with
There's a Chocobo Eater right before Guado Salam. There's the Moonflow, which is where the Hypello are.
I'm thinking of like the boss fight with like Brother, and he had something. Well,
it's not. Oh, well, no, there's a boss fight in a machine underwater with. Oh no, yeah, you're thinking of Lake Macalania. That's after Guado Salam. Yeah, that's where you're thinking, but that's after the Thunder Plains.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and keep in mind, Moonflow is Hypello, which, I think the real reason everyone wants Hypello, and it's why it's the other guess, is because they want shoe puffs. You assume you can't have one without the other.
People want to ride the shoe puff.
Exactly. That's the main reason why Hypellos are a guess for another tribe.
Waiting.
Yeah. You want to ride the shoe puff? Yeah. Impossible. Yeah, so that's a big reason why Hypellos are there. But I mean, like I said with Guados, I mean, if you're looking at references, I think there's actually a lot of references to look at that make sense for a lot of different climates, and we also don't know what the remaining two zones are like. And we have one more city that we're supposed to see as well. Like, assuming we're doing 2 hubs again, and we're not just staying in. Yeah. So whoever the other hub city is could belong to said other tribe or race or whatever. That's the question. Mm-hmm. So if it's, Guado, for example, if you had a Guado Salam equivalent, if it's you have the Gareth from 12 I saw in chat. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of if you think it'll be original. It could even be derivative of the mainland, like the Moblins. You have to remember that as well. I mean, we have Moblins. So will it be El Dorado itself? Will it just be Alligans? Fuck it. Who knows? It'll just be Alligans.
Again. So yeah, there's that.
And the threat, do you think the threat will be a reference as well? Like, we have one reference, one original.
I think the threat will be like a deep cut. Honestly, it'll be like an FF deep cut that nobody remembers. Oh yeah, it's from so and so fight and so and so. It'll probably be one of those.
The Valgaranda kind of hits that. I mean, if you've played 6, Valgaranda, but that is in some ways it's among one of the most popular of the franchise, but it's far from an iconic creature.
Yeah.
Which is strange because there's a lot of other creatures in Final Fantasy that are featured in maybe 1 or 2 games that end up being like Diablos is not like Diablos technically is a deep cut. He's not in a lot of games.
Right.
He's from 8 and then retroactively got put in like 6 advance and then in 11. And like, that's like, he doesn't have like a wide berth. Valgarmanda is essentially the same only from 6 or Tritalk if you prefer. Yeah. So there's the thing is there's still, it seems like we've referenced so much in 14, but there are a lot of deep cuts out there, and they've shown they're willing to go to things like, Ivalice, Vagrant Story, they're willing to really reach out into certain things to grab opportunities to reference stuff. So
yeah,
you never know.
which begs the next question. What is the raid going to be?
I'm torn. Because Pandemonium was such a 14 specific one, and they said this one's going to be even more. Well, no, they said the Alliance raid was going to be even more Final Fantasy. They didn't say anything about the 8-man. 8-man, they've been pretty tight-lipped about. I don't want it to be a collab raid. I'll tell you that much. I already see that in chat.
Oh, please, dear God.
I think it's due for a Final Fantasy reference this time.
Yeah,
I think it's
a matter of what.
Yeah, I think it's going back. Like, so just as a refresher, we have Bahamut, which very much a 14 specific one. Like, Bahamut is in all the games for the most part. So like, you're not going to say that's a reference to a specific thing. Alexander, same deal, but a very specific to, those are still just like broad Final Fantasy. Whereas Pandemonium is like almost nothing from Pandemonium is effectively from another Final Fantasy game. Mm-hmm. It's all very much locked in to Final Fantasy. But before that, Eden, Alexander, fucking Omega, like they've all been like super direct, like major Final Fantasy, like really popular characters. I think that happens again at the very least, whatever it is. I don't think it'll be like Pandemonium where it's very, I think that they should do that, but I don't think they will.
Right. I'm still on board with Sin.
It's not going to be Sin.
I'm still on board that one thing in the sky that they're like secret is Sin.
No. The main reason I would like them to do something I can't predict, something OG like Pandemonium, is because we're in a whole new place. I would like that place. I'd like to get to explore as much of what makes this different than the last 10 years as possible. And since I know with the 24-man, it's diving into 11 territory, I'd like to at least see something not do that with the 8-man. So, other than that, if I have to wager, I guess, on a Final Fantasy theme, it's not going to be Sin. Just not going to be in my wheelhouse. I feel like our opportunities for that, other than Bismarck also being a whale, I feel like the opportunities for that have come and gone. And you have to completely re-envision the entity as itself to even get there, personally. So
Etro?
For fuck's sake, no. Do not do that. No.
So we can fight Benavelza. Yay!
Yay! Everyone wants to do that. No. I don't know. I feel like you do another deep reach back into Final Fantasy. It's just a question of where. I mean, we've deep reached into most of the old Final Fantasies at this point, and there's a few obscure ones that you could go for, but a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for something that's more like Pandemonium-esque. But a lot of people on that 10 hype. A lot of people on that it's probably 10 related hype. Can't say it's wrong. There's no I can't debate it. I just don't think so.
We will see.
Aloha. Stop. There's food in your bowl. Stop being a menace. All right. And no collaboration 8-man raid. I didn't like it for Nier, and even if I like the raids themselves for some, I won't be a fan. No Octopath.
Again, I think collaboration would probably only be relegated to 24-man. And so far, like throughout history, in terms of production, it has been. In terms of like our artistic production and just regular, direction, it has been. So I don't think they ever do it for 8-man. And I would hope they never do it for 8-man. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. I've got the cat.
So yeah, outside of raid, we have the 24-man, and we at least do know what it is. We probably will see a little bit more.
We will. We know for a fact we will. Do you know
do you think
what?
they?
Cat was distracting me. Do you know what it is they said? Do you remember what it is they said they'll be doing this time?
No, I don't.
The actual key art. The last one we got was from the We Are Vanadil 20th anniversary site. This time we get the actual Final Fantasy XIV Vanadil key art. Echoes of Vanadil key art.
Do you think they show off characters or do anything?
I think if, like, for example, if Prish being in the key art, if I feel like of all the characters they need to use from 11, if they're going to tell in 11, it has to be Prish. No matter what, she has to be the main character. I will genuinely be disappointed if Prish is not the main character of the 11 raid. She is. There's a reason why she got put into Dissidia when Duodecim came around. She is by and far amongst the 11 community the most popular of the main characters. So,
yeah, I can agree with that.
I like other characters, but she is the most popular character by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so her being in it, for example, it would be not too unexpected. I'm sooner looking for the villain that's presented in the key art or some sort of, because they're gonna do, because the big thing is that essentially, yeah, like a Shadow Lord in it is there something with Promethea, Altana, like honestly, like it's maybe just having Altana is a possibility as well, but all the same, it's gonna be a key art that looks a lot like the one we saw before, but it's gonna be styled in the way that 11's key art is styled, almost certainly, which is a very good tell of what it will deal with. So that's an important thing.
Mm-hmm. You know, another one I can't really picture not being in is Lion.
I mean, yeah, she's not as popular. She's not really popular at all, to be fair, but she is the first heroine of the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not very popular. I mean, to be fair, the way they treat her in 11, she kind of never has a chance to become a character, so it's not her fault.
Yeah.
Either way, that's an important thing to keep an eye out for the 24 man is the key art. And Prish main character. Come on. Do it. If you're gonna go 11, gotta go all the way.
Yeah. Just not all the way. Not all the way.
Yeah, not
a few things out.
Yeah, definitely a few things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then you have a mix of other things. Before we get into life. Yeah, I guess we'll go to quality of life next. We know for a fact that they are going to talk about the dual die channels again. They've stated this. So we will definitely see probably a better showcase of what that actually looks like in terms of some gear. Just a few examples.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking they pull another like big quality of life feature out of a hat too. But I don't know what it would be. Chat
wants beards.
That's not really quality of life. That's aesthetics.
That is absolutely quality of life.
It's aesthetics.
How dare you?
Eyebrows. Belts coming back. No, belts are not coming back. I'm sorry. The era hats definitely. I wouldn't say a glam overhaul.
No, that's what you want them to talk about.
That's what y'all want. We're not getting that until next expansion, probably. I'm trying to think.
I know I have my want list. If you don't have what you think they'll talk about, you could have your want
list.
Okay,
what's on your want list?
A real friends list. Made a video about it today.
No.
A real functioning friends list.
No.
The entire social tab, an overhaul of the entirety of the social tab.
That would be nice.
Sure would be. That's on my want list.
Yeah.
And if you want people to play the game for 10 more years, you probably want to work on that. Thinks deeply.
Really, really thinking like what else? I mean, yeah, chat bubbles, sure. I mean, it's been requested, but I feel like that's something.
Well, it's not even requested. He said they're doing it. Just we don't have a timeline.
I feel like that's something they'll do it. They'll put out in a future live letter, like during the expansion. Yeah, so
I agree.
It's not keynote worthy. Like for something to be keynote worthy, it has to be big, like the 2 die channels. I feel like something housing would be big, but I'm not sure what specifically.
I mean, a new area or some sort of overhaul to the system, like apartment sizes, or I mean, they already went and said that they're working on the furnishing upgrades. I feel like that covers all they're going to say about housing until
housing,
way later down. Oh, there is one thing we have forgotten about, but if it's not quality of life related. So if you want to wrap this topic up,
no. I mean, yeah. Like I can't. Like all I'm saying is that he'll pull out of the hat like another major quality of life. As far as what it will be, I don't know.
Yeah,
but like alongside the 2 die channels, which he'll kind of mention again in passing, he'll pull out another big quality of life.
Okay. We forgot. We know for a fact they will talk about the lifestyle content.
Yes. What the lifestyle content will be.
It sounds like you want to say what I think you want to say.
Will it be better than Island Sanctuary?
Yes. You don't want to know how I know that, Sly?
How?
Everything's better than Island Sanctuary.
Oh, God. The restoration of Garlemald.
It's there. That's an option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an option. You know, what's interesting is when he listed examples of lifestyle content, he listed Ishgard in there. So big reason why Garlemald. He's also joked about Garlemald Resto, like on stage before. I think even at one of the FanFests, might have even been at EU.
Yeah.
He like responded to somebody shouting out about it or something like that. So yeah, I mean, all I remember, I guess all we need to remember is that this expansion has a very different focus than Endwalker did. As a whole, there's a completely different mission statement.
Yeah.
Endwalker was about getting the game ready for the next 10 years. So they did things like go back and redo all the dungeons and added trusts to everything and added solo activities in places like Island Sanctuary. Like they gave a bunch of solo activities. They've openly stated that most of Dawn Trail's functions will be more cooperative or multiplayer.
Yeah.
They also said that would be true about this as well.
And again, I go back to referring to Endwalker as the rebuilding expansion. Like we've had, like Shadowbringers was probably for a lot of people the best expansion today. And then after that, we're getting ready for the next 10 years, which Endwalker is the rebuilding. Kind of like in sports, when you win a championship, you go back to sucking for a year, kind of to rebuild and get new personnel and everything, get ready for another, swing at the championship. This is exactly what Endwalker was, because Endwalker really was like, there have been so many story beats about Endwalker, like certain things about Endwalker. every patch has had some form of like hot topic when it really shouldn't be. Like Shadowbringers game, the game kind of spoke for itself. We didn't have to do a lot of talking for it. The game really just spoke for itself. Endwalker had a lot of talking points. And it is my hope and prayer that Dawn Trail will speak for itself.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We'll still talk about it. I don't. Probably one of the best. I guess I'll say pros and probably equally a con amongst Final Fantasy XIV is how much we love to talk about.
Talk about it. Yes.
That is a pro and a con. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And as such, we have to hope so. But the big thing is that they are. It's what they're focusing on and how it's going to be received. And when it comes to lifestyle content, I'm kind of afraid of what the final answer is of what it's going to be, more so than almost anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of how broad their scope seems for it. It could mean not getting something else. It's like the one thing that getting it might mean not getting something else.
You had this conversation before about like, a lot of, dev resources being put to one thing and then we didn't get this because you da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, but that's never really been the case though.
It is to some capacity. Like they say we want to try something new, so we're not doing this thing. And then we see what's new. And whether or not it's a one-to-one, we still appropriate how they moved resources around. And lifestyle content, in our case of Island Sanctuary, I mean, a lot of people would equate that to not getting the exploration zone, for example. It's not a one-to-one, but to some capacity, people will equate them one-to-one. Now, we know they're working on an exploration zone. We know they're considering a deep dungeon. They've started planning for it, but they aren't wholly committed to the idea. We know they're working on variant and criterion again. We know there's an 8-man raid. We know there's a 24-man raid. So it's the minutia of the details in each of those things, and what any other thing they work on means we're not getting from those things in particular. But I think it is likely this is another restoration style content. I think that they probably want to look at Shadowbringers and see what had a really consistent player rate or player engagement. Ishgard and Bozia both had really good player engagement. And both of those things were missing from Endwalker and was felt doubly so.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to want to go back to having both of those things again. And that's what I'm hoping. But if they don't do restoration, they do something else for a lifestyle, then it likely means no restoration. So that's where the concern comes, is whatever they do here is going to determine not doing something else, like on a one-to-one, because of what the scope is of what they consider lifestyle.
Quick side question. Do you think or feel that there will ever be a time when we get everything in one expansion?
I think they're trying to do that in Dawn Trail. It seems like they are.
But I kind of feel like they'll fall a little bit short and something will be missing.
I mean, they've already said deep dungeon plan. They've said exploration zone plan. They've said, I mean, honestly, restoration might be the only thing that gets cut short depending on what the lifestyle is. But we know the lifestyle content's going to be, it's not going to be sectioned off like Island Sanctuary was, where everyone just has their own island and they all exist on their own. So that's why I wouldn't be too surprised to go the route with this. It could just be something, it could be something new, but people like restoration content. So it's again, it's a sensitive place, but I can't think of something they're missing. Like they've even said that for treasure maps, they want to do something that isn't one of the two types that exists now, which is the roulette wheel and the picador.
Yeah.
Like they're really trying to do one of everything and then still a couple of new things there, or at least by their own words, that's what's happening.
Mm.
So this is the only one I'm not super confident in, but I'm excited. I'm excited all the same on that, on the lifestyle. I wanted to like Island Sanctuary. Didn't work out. Didn't quite work out. With that, I don't think, outside of just throwing a random guess to either something quality of life or content related, something you couldn't predict. That's like most everything. I mean, the collaboration date and the exact dates for 6.55 for the Xbox beta, the 16, the exact dates for those things are probably going to happen as well. And then like the only other thing to predict is the collector's edition, what is going to be in it. Because they will have an on-stage showcase for this. They always have.
Yeah, they always do. So we get the usual statue.
Mm-hmm. A horse.
Horse?
For the mount, yeah. Some form of horse.
Well, no, I mean, last time it was just, what? Paladin, right?
It's Paladin horse.
Just Paladin.
Paladin horse.
Oh my god.
We didn't ride a paladin.
No, I'm talking. Are you talking about the mount?
I was talking about the mount. Yeah.
No, I was saying like for like the statue.
Oh yeah. No, this one I wouldn't be surprised it to be Viper, Warrior of Light.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah. The mounts. No.
Horse.
It can't be a horse. Horses are too, like, I feel like horse is too plain.
It's a shoe puff. Chat says it's a shoe puff.
It's a shoe. No, it's not a shoe puff. That'll be the beat. That'll be the tribal reward.
There you go.
The shoe puff. Yeah. You'll actually get to ride your own shoe puff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. The earring, I think, will be the Clover. I had that discussion with my chat earlier. Yeah. That's a pre-order bonus, not a collector's edition bonus, but all the same.
Yeah.
There's usually a weapon for one of the new jobs. Viper, obviously, is a big contender there because that's the mainstay job. Final Fantasy IX weapon, I'm just going to assume. I mean, it could be a Gabronth weapon too, but I think they're going to go with something iconic. They're going to pick one or the other, so. And then like art books and the other usual stuff. I wonder if there'll be anything exclusive for the Xbox version.
Probably not.
I don't know. You don't think they want to sell them? They want to upsell the Xbox people?
Honestly, I think 14 is a hard sell for Xbox people already. So don't try to upsell them.
No Master Chief clan.
Oh my god.
Got Master Chief dancing around doing the fucking Manderville.
Then that would mean it would eventually go on to Mog Station like years later.
Fine, they upsell them now, we get it later. Done. What a fucking time that. Listen, there's a bucket of KFC in the Japanese version. Everything works now, all right? You have nothing, you can say nothing against it anymore.
I can't.
Okay. So yeah, with that, I think that's I think that covers most everything. I don't expect any. Not that I expect surprises, but I don't expect anything as loud of a cheer as the double die channels. I'll use that as my metric for how exciting an individual announcement.
I don't know. Like if he brings out something bigger quality of life than that, then yeah.
It doesn't have to be bigger, but it's a matter of how much cheer it invokes. Yeah, like a butt slider would be the only other thing that would get that amount of cheer.
And you gotta realize this is the JP crowd too, so we usually we have different wants and needs too.
Everybody loves ass Sly. That's universal.
Okay.
I don't think anyone will disagree. We all like cake. I go into the store later to get some groceries.
Just to get some cake.
I was going more for the groceries thing, but you know. Mark. Yeah, and then we won't get anything job change related. I've had to answer that a billion times over.
No.
You never know. He could say like a sentence that's like, you know, as much as I'm really excited for you to see what we've done with jobs like Dragoon, you'll have to wait a little bit longer.
Wait until the media tour.
Yep.
By the way, prediction for dates for the media tour?
I do not want to predict that.
Please do. Please do.
All we know is without a release date, I can't is the problem. So I'd have to, based on mine, then it would be like beginning of June. Because so the way that it's worked historically is that the live letter where they show job stuff is about 6 weeks before expansion launch.
Mm-hmm.
Then a week or two later is Media Tour stuff going public, and a week or two before is Media Tour stuff happening. That's historically been the timeline. But again, we don't know what the timelines look like because they're not the same here than they've been to any other expansion.
Yeah. I'm just praying it's not in May.
It's gonna be May.
No.
I don't even know what's happening in May.
For me, stuff I want to go to.
All right. But that covers pretty much everything. We might get the odd-off detail also from some of the various panels, especially the one right after the tales from the development team. But most of that stuff we'll have to wait for translations for anyway. Now, important detail about co-streaming the event. There are only 4 events that can actually be co-streamed from the JP FanFest, for anyone who's wondering. The opening keynote, the development team panel, the Crystalline Conflict Championship, and the cosplay contest. Everything else is not co-streamable. Concert, obvious, has to be purchased. That was never going to be an option. But any of the other panels that aren't those 4 are not on the approved co-stream list. So bear that in mind as well, that at most you will see co-stream coverage from those 4 things, which constitute a fair portion of it, but not everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. So with that, I don't have anything else. Just wanted to get our last minute predictions in on that one. I feel like we had a fair number of predictions on that.
We did. I mean, we got through them pretty efficiently, actually.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
So unless chat thinks we've missed something in particular, then I think we're good to have a nice, crisp 1 hour show.
I think we are too.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said chat. I wasn't asking you.
I was just chiming in.
Yeah. So while we're waiting for that, someone's like a weird out of the box collaboration with expensive merch. Speaking of expensive merch, they are doing a collaboration with the fucking PC stickers that are
I saw that.
Fucking way too expensive. Like, I'm gonna go print that shit out of my local library. I ain't gonna fucking pay that.
No. See, the thing is, like, people were saying it's a sticker. I looked a little bit further. It's an actual full build.
full build's a little bit different. If it's got pieces in it, sure. But if it's just the case, even, I'm like, nah, dude, I'll just print out a sticker.
No, it's more than the case. Like I went to the website. I'm like, it can't just be the fucking case. And there were different builds. There were different.
Are you
builds.
sure they
There was
weren't just
like
different builds that have that case and not still? Because it could just be you could also buy the exact same thing without that case.
No. I think each of the builds had like prices attached to them, because there was like a 4080, 4070, 4060, and everything else with them. Yeah, there were pre-builds. Yeah. So it's not just a case. Because I saw Fusion tweet that holy expensive Batman. I'm like, it's not just a sticker in case, can it be? It can't be. Okay, thank God. But yeah, it's actually a pre-built, and they're like apparently not for sale anymore.
That didn't take long.
Yeah.
Not that I'm fucking surprised, but that didn't take long. Yeah, so more collab. Yeah, I mean, QVC at the end is always a given. I'm not going to try to predict what's going to get QVC'd.
No.
Like,
FanFest.
There's no way I can figure they've done so many things. So, leaving that one alone. There is the possibility of them detailing other dates for like a calendar of like collaboration event days and like seasonal events and like major events from FanFest to Dawn Trail launch. Since we'll have the official date, there's no reason they can't do that at that point. So like if they're planning on bringing Yokai back or bringing 15 back, or they want to remind you of like Make It Rain is happening at a certain point, or when Fall Guys is coming back, or any of that stuff, I wouldn't be surprised to just see straight up a map of the timeline of what to expect. So I'll throw that prediction in the house as well. But that's where my predictions come to an end, I believe. Yeah, any of them could come back. I don't know what. I mean, any of the ones that are able to come back could come back. I wouldn't be surprised. So with that, I think we're good, which means I can eat and get to the gym before all the Friday motherfuckers get there and they're still on their New Year grind and shit. And I just be like, yeah. Don't actually do bench press like this because you're not getting any hypertrophy. Yeah. All right. If you ever see anyone in the gym doing that with the chest press, stop them immediately. Just there's literally no hypertrophy happening here. All right. So thanks everyone for tuning in for a nice little State of the Realm. Hopefully you've got all your predictions and bingo boards and all that shit written down. As a reminder, Sly and I will be doing our own co-streams separately for the watch party. I got to look at the schedule one more time because there's one thing I want to see if I can 100% lock in. Where is the schedule? Why didn't I Google the schedule instead of just going to the lodestone like a fucking idiot? Because now I got to scroll through shit and everything. 10th anniversary Mosaic. There's the paid stream. Here's the stream schedule. Got it. That actually didn't take that long. Main stage, Galleria. Okay, so Tales from the Development side. Yeah, so 11:30 to 1:30 for the PvP tournament. I kind of want to co-stream that. Kind of. Man, on the second day, you can't co-stream anything. You can only co-stream the cosplay contest from like 8 to 9 p.m. Everything else can't be co-streamed. First day is where it's all happening. Yeah, I might stay up and do that. 1:30 a.m. and just sleep in the next day. Say fuck it. That's a possibility. So yeah. We'll be doing our own co-streams. The opening keynote begins at 5 p.m. Pacific time. 5 p.m. Pacific time. It is currently
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern if you're incapable of adding 3. It's currently 1:10 p.m. PST. So as of recording this right this second, It is 27 hours and 50 minutes from now. What? You know how many times I've cleared up time zone issues with communicating to people by stating in how many hours something is? That way I don't have to give a fuck about what time zone they're in. They'll figure it out, hopefully. Trust me, man. Trust me. People are going to be showing up at 5 Eastern. No! See, that's why you can't say Eastern, because now they're like, wait, so 5 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, they're confused. They're confused.
5 p.m. Eastern?
Sorry.
Or 8 p.m. Istific? It's always a problem. Then they get to watch Admageddon. Yeah, I do that. I run just like an hour straight of ads beforehand. So that way you get no ad breaks during the fucking show. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. All right. And yeah, so that's the plan. That's the plan.
Yeah.
All right. With that, I think we can sign off. I think we're good. Yeah. All right. So thanks everyone for tuning in to State of the Realm. Sly, why don't you tell everyone what you're working on top of, the co-stream and all that shit,
Hi. You can find me at twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox. You can find me on Twitter at Sly the Fox, youtube.com/The Velvet Room. Again, earlier this week I put out a video on Twitter about 2023, how it wasn't like the best year, but it wasn't the worst. And what 2024 will be like. So if you want, you should definitely go check that out. If you probably had a similar year, I would imagine you did. Most people did. Other than that, next week I will be taking, from Thursday next week, starting Thursday next week, I will be taking a vacation. A week-long vacation, because fuck, I needed it. So after that, hitting 2024 running.
I like it.
So, yeah, that's pretty much what's going down. I mean, of course, FanFest before that and a few days of streaming before that. But yeah, getting recharged, just relaxing, not worrying about stream, not worrying about fucking anything, just existing. And then I come back to, hell months, pretty much at the end of January, beginning of February, Yeah. Happy, what about you? What's going on with you?
Well, I'm currently working on a fair number of things. I think I'm going to do Dragon's Dogma next week after FanFest, because I'm afraid of not getting Dragon's Dogma 1 done before March with 7 Rebirth on the horizon. So that's looking like that plan. So Dragon's Dogma next week. And then I'm thinking of just every month, if I can squeeze it in, doing one retro RPG I haven't played, because I've played like late entries in a lot of RPG series and not gone back to the earlier ones. Great example is when I was young, I rented Breath of Fire 5. And let me tell you, if the first game of Breath of Fire you've played is 5, there's a good chance you have no desire to go back and play any other one, because there's a reason that franchise pretty much died right there. So examples like that are usually pretty good. So I'd probably go back and play the earlier ones. Plus a handful of other ones I didn't get to because I didn't buy games for like 8 years when I was playing Final Fantasy XI. That was the game that I had for like the majority of my time. So, yeah. And then also, I think I've selected my weapon for the end of January. Grand Blue.
Yeah. Hands down. Which is rough because, P3 is around the same time.
Yeah, that's why I said I selected my weapon. It's Tekken P3, Grand Blue, and Like a Dragon, all within like 4 days of each other. That's what I mean. I'm picking one, and I think I'm going with Relay. I'm going to go for my anime Monster Hunter.
Yeah. I
feel content with that decision.
Again, this is why I'm taking my vacation next week. To kind of get ready for all this shit. Because last year I didn't have time to take a shit, let alone do anything else. So fuck, it's just The year's starting out that way. I might as well take a vacation beforehand.
Fair. Fair. I'll instead do all of Dragon's Dogma 1 before that. Very much a different way of handling it.
Yeah.
Very, very different. So yeah, that's my plan. And then 7 Rebirth next month, Dragon's Dogma in March. I kind of want to play what's it called? Unicorn Overlord? Overlord? It's an Atlas game. Atlas making it. That's March 7th, I think. That's like, it's a week after Rebirth and like a week and a half before fucking Dragon's Dogma. What a fucking place for Atlas to throw a random fucking game in the middle of everything. April is Emerald Beyond for Saga. And then I think my schedule kind of fades after that, like in terms of where everything is and what everything's happening. So yeah. Sly just looked up the unicorn. Is it Overload or Overlord? I think it's Overlord.
Overlord.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unicorn Overlord. That's another one.
Middleware game.
It sure is. It's been published by Atlas.
Yeah. I can tell once I immediately saw the middleware, I'm like, oh God, that looks good. Yeah.
So it's gonna be another busy year, but it is what it is. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to take a look at some of the various, and not to mention we're all just looking at Elden Ring DLC and wondering when. when. So I can crowd control it, randomize it.
Oh God.
To do all the things. And Lies of P DLC. That'll happen at some point. That DLC is going to
eventually I will play. Eventually I'll play Lies of P.
DLC for that game. I'm not going to say what it's going to be because we already know what it's going to be. But if you haven't played it, you wouldn't know what it's going to be. And that's going to be wild. Absolutely wild. Jesus Christ. Swear to God, if Elden Ring DLC comes out around Dawn Trail, I'm going to fucking lose it. Gonna fucking lose it. All right. So we're going to go into a short post show, and then I'm going to eat and get to the gym. So, everyone, thank you for joining. We will see you next week to go over the announcements from this week. And then hopefully 6.55 is the 16th, and then we'll have a show after that. It should be good. Yeah. All right. Wait, are you going to be on vacation? Are you even going to be able to do a show next week?
I was about to talk to you after show about that.
We can just do it before you go on vacation instead.
Yeah.
We'll just do it. Like you said, on the 8th, you start vacation?
I leave on the 11th.
Oh, okay. You're just taking a few days off before you actually leave.
No. Like the 11th is that starts my vacation.
For some reason, I thought I heard you say the 8th. My brain just changed the words that left your mouth. All right, yeah, the 11th. 7. Yeah, we just do it on Wednesday instead. I think that's the 10th.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we'll do Stay Realm on Wednesday next week. Fuck it. There. And that'll be on everything. It'll be a little fresher on our minds anyway. And the following week would be normal time because you'll be back by then on Friday.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, we'll move into a short post show and then I'll be out. So thanks everyone for joining us today. We will see all of you at or after FanFest co-streams.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
See you soon.